The woman accidentally discovers a compartment in her husband's study, filled with strange cardboard boxes. Curiously, she opens one and finds it packed with cash. After counting, she realizes there's a total of 100 million, but the company is clearly deep in debt. How could her husband possibly hide so much money? At that moment, her best friend suddenly calls, saying her husband was in a car accident, and urging her to come to the hospital quickly. After hanging up, the woman senses something is wrong. To verify her suspicion, she calls the crematorium, requesting that her husband's cremation be arranged immediately. Meanwhile, her friend prepares the death certificate and medical orders, then gives the man a shot of a special drug. That causes a temporary respiratory pause. When the woman arrives at the hospital, heartbroken, she pulls back the white sheet, and slaps her husband several times. The mistress beside her sighs, relieved that the man was drugged. Otherwise, they would have been exposed. She then shows the death certificate to the woman, telling her not to be too upset. Unbeknownst to them, that certificate is what truly kills the man. Pretending to be unable to accept the truth, the woman almost faints. Seeing this, the mistress quickly pulls out an oxygen tank filled with sleeping gas, to help the woman recover. Recalling that in her previous life, she had inhaled this gas, leading to the tragedy, the woman puts the oxygen tank down, claiming her husband's death is suspicious. She immediately calls in several experts to conduct an autopsy for the truth. The mistress panics, quickly calling her cruel mother-in-law. Before she can finish, the experts arrive on the scene. Just as they prepare to dissect the man with a scalpel, the mother-in-law arrives in time to stop them, angrily blaming the daughter-in-law for being the true culprit in her son's death. However, she becomes so agitated that she nearly collapses. Seeing this, the woman hands her the oxygen tank filled with sleeping gas. The mistress, witnessing this, tries to intervene, but it's too late. The mother-in-law quickly reacts. The woman urges the mistress to take the mother-in-law to the emergency room. The mistress, worried, warns the woman not to disturb her husband any further. The woman pretends to agree, then calls the staff to take her husband to the crematorium for cremation. It turns out she had already realized her husband was faking his death, so she decided to turn the fake death into a real one. On the other side, the mistress discovers the man has been sent to the crematorium, and rushes to chase after him. The woman, seeing the mistress's call, hangs up immediately, lying that her husband is afraid of the dark and asking the driver to speed up. Upon arriving at the crematorium, the woman gives the staff some money, expressing her desire to personally press the button to cremate her husband. The staff explains the procedure, but the woman deliberately swaps the labels for the ignition and extinguishing buttons, then pushes her husband into the incinerator. At that moment, the mother-in-law and mistress arrive in time to stop her, rebuking the woman for causing her son's death, and claiming she has no right to cremate him. They decide to ignite the fire themselves. Just as the mother-in-law is about to press the extinguishing button, the woman pretends to remind her that button is actually for ignition. The mother-in-law doesn't believe the woman, and directly presses the button.